Well, Jay and I just got back from a day zero screening of Thunderbolts asterisk today. This is the second to last film we were getting out of the MCU before Avengers Doomsday, with only Fantastic Four First Steps remaining before we get to our next Avengers film. So without further ado, Jay, scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the Thunderbolts?
I'm going to give it a solid 8.5.
You're giving it a solid 8.5. You were a little higher than me. I'm at a 7, right? Like leaning toward an 8, but still a 7 for me. We had a couple conversations right after the movie about this, and I'll upfront this. For me, I'd seen all the trailers and the marketing. My biggest issue with the film was I clocked the ending very early. It was pretty telegraphed kind of how it was going to end. Not in a bad way, but I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I see where this is going. There were still a couple little surprises, but I clocked it really, really early. You didn't. You were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that is what being a DC child gets you. Sometimes you're surprised by the MCU.
You're like, wait a minute, what?
Why?
There was some good family themes, and I think the stuff at the ending, and we're going to do a spoiler video, so if you're watching this review, this is our spoiler-free review. Go to the other video. There's another video on the channel that's uploaded right after this one that will be our spoiler talk about Thunderbolts, and we're going to talk about all the spoilery details. So if you don't want spoilers, you're okay. We're just talking about the movie here. There was a lot of themes like with mental health and family and together that you really liked. So talk about like what really drove you about those ones.
I just really liked. It's kind of dark, and
it is.
It really hits home, I think, for a lot of people in like today's world. Like this isn't like I went and I saw like Iron Man just like beat up bad guys for like an hour and a half, and like I went home and was like, oh, okay, cool. Like it wasn't a brain rot movie. You were like, okay, like, yeah, like sometimes I feel lonely and sometimes I feel helpless. And they really had that that undertone throughout the movie.
They gave you some stuff to chew on.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, okay, damn. like
okay, we're going here. All right.
It's like if you've ever been to church and you swear that like the preacher is talking directly to you, that's how this movie is. You're
yes.
Like, oh.
Let's talk a little bit about the performances. The first one I want to highlight is Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina de Fontaine, as she points out very early in the film. She does such a good job of making me absolutely despise her. The entire film, I was like, will somebody please just kill this woman? I do not like you. Go away. I just want you to go away. And about 3/4 of the way through the movie, I was like, wait, this is actually what she's going for. She is trying to make this character just, you don't like her at all. There is not a single redeeming quality. Nothing. And she does a really good job of that. Which performances kind of stood out to you?
I mean, the very obvious one, the actress that plays Elena. I mean,
Florence Pugh. Yeah.
Yeah, you get so much of her in this movie, like way more than any of the other movies. Mm-hmm. So, I really liked it. And there's like some, I don't know, like some really like iconic moments, I think, like throughout the movie that you're just like one, it's like, damn, like the scene looks really, really good. And then it's just like, yeah, she's just a total awesome rock star in this movie.
They give her a lot of deeper stuff to work with in this film than you saw in either Black Widow or Hawkeye, where we've seen her previously.
100%.
And as much as I loved her interactions with Kate Bishop in Hawkeye and her interactions with Natasha Romanoff in Black Widow, this is much deeper.
Yep.
Right? There are some points where she goes back and forth between calling Red Guardian Dad and Alexei. Yeah. Did you notice that?
I noticed the dad a couple of points.
And then when she's mad at him, she calls him Alexei.
Yeah. there's definitely this like throughout the movie, like kind of like this feel of like, no, like you weren't there for me. You're not my dad. I'm mad at you. And then it's like,
But you're my dad.
dad.
Yeah. Um, that kind of brings us to David Harbour, who I think is just having a blast playing Red Guardian. He's just da 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 da. He's having so much fun.
Oh, he loves this. Yeah.
If Yelena is the soul of this movie, and she's definitely the POV character, she's the one we're supposed to be watching this film through. I kind of feel like he's the heart of this movie. Like
Oh,
he's the whole time he's like, I want everyone to be together. I want better things. The whole time he's like, let's do better. And I'm like, and he's just having so much fun
yeah.
being him, that crazy Russian, you know. Um, White Russell does a pretty good job as John Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Solid. They don't really give Ghost a whole lot to do. She's fine. There's nothing wrong with her performance, but she's definitely kind of the odd one out in the Thunderbolts. And I'll be honest, I didn't love Sebastian Stan's performance. You and I talked about this a little bit and disagreed. It felt a little like gruff, angry guy. The whole time.
Yeah. I think one, we didn't, you don't, you don't see a whole lot of him. Like he's there, but he's not doing anything very like meaningful
Until
throughout a
about
lot of,
halfway through the movie.
yeah. I think one that might have been like a director, like, hey, like we already know your backstory. You've already had your spotlight. We want to focus on these new heroes. But then also I think like the whole like rough, tough guy, I think, I think, and this is just my theory, but I think like they're trying to gear him up to be a leader of, kind of, I don't know, whoever replaces the Avengers or whatever. It's like, hey, like I need to be this like tough guy or
And again,
trying to come together.
maybe, I guess my problem is like, I look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
Hmm.
Did you watch that show?
Yeah.
They kind of tried to smooth a lot of his rough edges, like give him some humanity because he's not the Winter Soldier anymore, right?
Yeah.
And the stuff with Sam's sister, and just like him trying to not be the Winter Soldier anymore.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like this was a step backwards for Bucky.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did some marketing research and they were like, no, we don't really like the smooth Bucky. Like we want the rougher Bucky. I don't know.
Maybe. Overall, I think that this is definitely one of the better films in this phase of the MCU.
Yes. Yes. I was actually kind of surprised because I was like, I hope it's good. I don't really know though. This could kind of be like a meh movie. I'm just gonna go check it out. And then I was actually surprised. I actually loved the movie. It was great.
Another one, Bob. We like Bob. We see Bob in the trailers. Bob is there. We don't see a lot of Bob in the trailers, but we do see
Yeah.
Bob. Bob's there. Bob is funny. I liked Bob. He was good, right? And we'll talk about that. Go to the spoiler video if you want to know more about Bob. Bob is important, right? You guys will
Oh,
get that. The whole story hinges on Bob. Post-credit scenes, we're not going to spoil them here. Both worth watching. One is very funny. It's just
yep.
silly. And then the other one starts like, oh, this is silly. And then it's like, oh, no, this is actually important. And again, we'll talk about that. Go check out our spoiler view for talking about the post-credit scenes. We'll put a card somewhere here, up, down, that way. So yeah, overall, Jay's got this at an 8.5. I've got it at a solid 7, leaning toward an 8. Overall, we enjoyed it. We saw it in IMAX, which I
Yeah.
thought was great.
Yeah.
It's a visually very stimulating movie. I would like to thank the nice folks at AMC. Obviously, you know the title is Thunderbolts with an asterisk. They gave us these cool metal. We all got cool metal asterisk keychains with the Thunderbolts in IMAX. It's hard to see on there in the back, and they're actually like they're solid metal. They're like we walked in, we did our tickets, and they were like, here's some stuff, and we were like, oh, neat presents.
Yay,
when was the last time you got a present at the movie?
I think it was back in the day when they used to do like midnight premieres.
So long.
I don't know. It was like
I'm too old. I'm too old to do midnight premieres.
Yeah, but I remember they used to do like they would hand you out like the miniature movie poster.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh, here's a movie poster. Here's a movie poster.
I actually like this better than a movie poster.
I mean, you run out of wall space.
You do. And this, again, this is metal. Like, I could put it on something and, like it feels solid. So, thank you, AMC/Marvel, for my asterisk. Right? Yeah. Have you seen Thunderbolts yet? What did you think? Go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section below and give us your thoughts. Thank you.